Hello. Hello, teachers. Okay, now we're live. Both places. Hello, teachers. Good afternoon. Both here on Instagram and on YouTube. How's everyone doing? Hello, Pedro. Hi, Swelling. Nice to see you here. Awesome. Oh my God, I should change these lights here. Give me just a second. Let me change this here so it's going to be better for those watching on YouTube. Hello. Hi, Milene, Andrea, Giovanna. Hello, everyone watching here on YouTube as well. Today, it's our Q&A session. Hi, Augusto. Let me write here the topic. Your questions answered live. Wow. Let me see. Okay, now it's pinned. Hello, Sheila, Leonardo, Alex. Cool. So if you're watching here on Instagram, you have a question bubble speech with a question mark here. So you send your questions there so I can answer live. Okay, that's the point of our session today. And if you're watching here on YouTube, then you can ask directly on the chat. And take this time to share this live session here, both on Instagram and on YouTube with other teachers you know, so they can send their questions too and have their answers and gather answers live. How about that? Okay, now it's not showing there. It's all good. Okay, and before this live session here, this Q&A session, I opened a question box here on Instagram and asked teachers to send their questions. And some people already sent their questions earlier. So I'm going to start with those questions. But if you have any questions about teaching, about your business, about clients, about anything, this is the time for you to ask, okay? This is the time for you to ask. So let me see. Augusto's being busy. Augusto, I saw your photo by the beach. That's how busy you were. Hello, Fernanda. Hi, Fabio. So let me see here. Right. So Luiz Manzato. I don't know if Luiz is live here with us. But Luiz says, hi, Camila, já tenho negócio como professor. Fico com receio do BTI ser muito básico para mim. Luiz, olha só. Se você já tem negócio, que bom, que legal. O BTI vai servir para você, primeiro de tudo, conferir se a estrutura que você tem tá sólida, tá sustentável, a forma como você trabalha, se ela é rentável, se você precisa ajustar alguma coisa, tá? Se esse teu negócio tá alinhado com o tipo de profissional que você é, quem você é, que tipo de nicho você atende, que tipo de cliente ideal você vai ter. Então, essa parte que talvez você já tenha estruturado, você vai poder, primeiro de tudo, conferir. E a partir disso, você crescer da onde você estiver, tá? Tem vários teachers, inclusive se você assistir algumas das lives que eu fiz aqui com os professores, semana passada, na sexta-feira, eu fiz uma live com a Inara Brandão, que ela já tinha, se eu não me engano, 14 ou 20 alunos quando ela começou a BTI. Então, não é só questão de você, eu já tenho um negócio, mas esse negócio está dando dinheiro? Esse negócio tá funcionando da forma como você quer que ele funcione? Você está trabalhando o número de horas que você gostaria de trabalhar? Você tem os clientes que você gostaria de ter? Você está com a perspectiva de escalabilidade funcionando? Você tem esse plano? Então, a BTI não é só para professor que não tem aluno, tá? A BTI pega teachers que já estão com alunos, teachers que não têm alunos, teachers que já têm negócio, teachers que não têm negócio. A gente consolida a base, Porque muitas vezes eu vejo a pessoa já tem um negócio, mas é um negócio que não está funcionando, não está dando dinheiro, a pessoa está tirando tanto ali, mas está trabalhando que nem louco, desesperado, não tem, assim, não tem equilíbrio, não tem como crescer sem sustentabilidade, sem o negócio render. Negócio precisa de dinheiro, tá? Então, assim, ó, tenho 25 alunos, estou aprendendo coisas surreais na BT. Ó, thanks, Fox Languages. Então, muitas pessoas me perguntam isso, né? Ai, mas eu já tenho um negócio. Cara, se você tá feliz, seu negócio tá a 1.000 por hora, talvez, assim, a BT seja só para você, né, entrar na BT All-In e começar a escalar. Mas o que eu sei é que não é o caso da grande maioria dos teachers e das escolas. Ok? Então, não importa onde você esteja, se você quer crescer, ganhar mais, escalar o seu negócio, a BT é para você. Ok? Gente, and there were, I think, 2 or 3 boletos that were not paid. So there are 2 or 3 spots for this group that we just started last week. Okay? So if you are in our groups, we sent a message talking about that right now because we started today and we were checking all the payments and everyone and all the registrations. And we saw that 2 or 3 were not paid, right? So we opened 2 or 3 spots. I don't remember the right number. So if you were thinking, and now that's your time to do it, get in touch with us, send us a message, and then you can join this group, okay? Which, by the way, has the first mentoring session tomorrow. All right. Let me see. Best Teacher Gil. Eu queria ter entrado agora para a BTI, mas não pude. Tem previsão para a próxima turma? Gil, eu acabei de falar que tem 2 ou 3 vagas para agora, tá? Recomendo fortemente que você entre nessa, tá? Que você não deixe para depois. O que eu mais ouço dos teachers é assim, não devia ter esperado tanto, devia ter começado antes. Não, as recomendações, toda vez que eu falo, what advice do you have for the teachers listening to us? They're like, don't take forever, don't wait as much as I did to join BT. So I truly recommend you join us now, all right? And you don't wait, and you don't wait. Let me see. And I think when will be the next BTE group? We have a waiting list. So every time this waiting list is getting bigger, then we start a new process for a new group, okay? But let me tell you something, guys. Para quem começa já pensando que vai fazer depois, 20 alertas de procrastinação, de sabotagem, tá? Deixar para depois o que você sabe que você precisa hoje é o maior erro que a gente faz na vida, e não é só para teacher, tá bom? Então, se você sabe hoje que você tem que entrar para a BT, que é isso que você precisa, faz acontecer hoje. Ficar esperando, a mesma coisa com relacionamento, sabe? Eu sei que eu tenho que sair desse relacionamento e fica postergando, é o pior erro que a gente faz na vida, ok? Corre, eu tenho uma semana de BT, já marquei 7 talks. Olha só, Mari, aceleradíssima, né, Mari? Alright? Quantas horas por dia eu tenho que dispor para fazer o BT? Quantas você quiser, Nera. Quantas você quiser, tá? Você vai ter que trabalhar todos os dias para o seu negócio. Quantas horas aí é contigo, ok? Meia hora por dia, não sei se todo dia você vai poder, acho que umas 3, 4 horas por semana vai ser um tanto bom, assim, para você trabalhar. Agora é difícil eu dizer quanto, né? Porque cada um tem um momento e uma necessidade. Mas não dá para entrar no curso e não fazer nada, né? Tipo, eu vou dedicar meia horinha por semana, aí teu passo vai crescer a passo de tartaruga. E eu não acho que é isso que a galera quer, né? Ok? Hi, Marco. Thanks for sharing that. I almost waited the next one because my mom said no, but we talked again and she said yes. Your mom saw what maybe you weren't seeing, right, Mari? And that's good because when we know what we want, guys, when we know exactly what we need, why should we wait? You know, it makes no sense. It makes really no sense. All right? Let me see what else. Gerei o boleto, pois você tinha falado que haveria parcelamento, mas saiu no total. Vai poder? Gil, foi sexta-feira passada que a gente abriu a opção de boleto parcelado, tá? Manda mensagem lá para o nosso suporte, porque a opção de boleto parcelado, você tinha que mandar a mensagem para o suporte. Não era pela plataforma que tinha lá, tem que falar no WhatsApp com o nosso suporte. Ok? Então, ó, teve boleto que não foi pago, a pessoa tá aí perdendo a vaga. Agiliza aí, Gil. Se foi teu caso, manda mensagem para o nosso suporte. Quando você entra na nossa página lá de inscrição, tem um ícone do WhatsApp, se eu não me engano, na direita de baixo. Entra lá em contato, que não é assim suporte da página, é a nossa equipe, a galera que trabalha comigo que te atende, tá? E dessa vez o boleto a gente está fazendo pela gente, não é por empresa nenhuma. Então precisa falar com a gente, tá? Preciso de tempo, tenho muito trabalho no momento. Pois é, né? Então talvez a tua necessidade maior seja o tempo e nem tanto o dinheiro. Claro que o dinheiro é bom, todo mundo gosta, mas às vezes é o tempo, né? Que pesa mais para você. Ok? Let me see. What else? Pablo Menezes, how to keep the speaking flowing living in a non-English speak country? Pablo, let me see if I can understand your question here. How to keep the speaking flowing living in a non-English speaking country? It seems to me that you're not an English teacher, right? If you're here, let me know. Okay, if you're here, let me know. But if you are a teacher and you're teaching here in Brazil, then you have to help your students see English and incorporate English in everything they do, right? Because we live here, we're not surrounded by English all the time, right? And even when we live in a country, when you have an experience abroad, many teachers don't. They stay around Brazilians or other people who speak another language that is not English. So here we have to create the conditions so that we can use English all the time. So following here the lives, following people on Instagram that speak English, watching movies and series in English, listening to music in English, having everything you do have some English. That's how you make it like English become part of your life, and that's how your brain, oh my God, your brain is going to recognize that English is something important for you. But if you don't, meu Deus, que meleca aqui. But if you don't show that English is important, if you don't add it to your routine, then your brain is not gonna figure that out by itself. So as a teacher, help your students see in their routine, in their lives, in their regular activities, what can be done in English. And that is how we involve that. I'd say join Pro if you're an English teacher. That's it, Faye. And that's the new opportunity we're showing this week, right? If you are an English teacher and you don't know what to do, nossa, fechei o meu negócio, né? Your questions. If you don't know what to do, if you are not sure how to teach and how to keep these things going, if you have questions about teaching, if you're not sure your classes are very effective and dynamic and you don't see results and you're not confident from the classes you teach, then Pro is for you, right? Answered live. I unpinned, I don't know why. Okay. Hi, Luane. Hi, Erika. All right, let me see. Renata, hello. I see many best teachers ever joining us. That's great. Cool, many people here on YouTube as well. Hello, everybody. Hi, Amanda, Eliana, Eduardo. So, Sheila saying, I want to open my first group class. How can I effectively advertise it? Sheila, let me just go one step back, right? The right time for us, the best time for us to open a group is when we have many students studying one-on-one with us, when we learned how to attract students for one-on-one classes. That's the natural flow, right? If you don't have a full schedule or an almost full schedule of one-on-one students, aiming for a group can be too hard, right? Because a group happens when your schedule is full, when you cannot absorb any more one-on-one students, and then you start to group them up. It's the first step to escalating your business, Okay, so let's assume that that is the point where you are now, where your business is now. So you already have a full schedule, you're attracting as many one-on-one students that you want, you have many private classes going on, and for you to grow, the next step for you would be to have groups. All right, then, all right, then you are doing it all correctly. You're following the steps, okay? When you do the talk with your students, instead of advertising the one-on-one classes, talk about the group. You just change that. Just that when you're doing the talk, instead of saying, oh, I work this way, you say, look, I have this group going on, or I have these groups going on. So you talk about, you're going to attract students the same way. You're going to follow the same strategies you learned with the Step Up Challenge and if you're doing BT, right? And I know we have a Shayla in the group, but I'm not sure it's you. If it is, then you have the classes there, right? But also you have to keep attracting students, and instead of offering the private classes, offer the group. That's what you're going to do, right? This is how you're going to start forming your groups. And of course, you can use posts and things, but that's a secondary thing, right? If you are attracting, if you're having many talks, like Mari shared here, 7 talks, these 7 people could be in a group. If you already have a niche, if you have the ideal client, your dream student well designed, and you are attracting people that want the same thing, that are from the same, they need the same, they have the same goal, then forming a group is easy. But if you don't have any of that aligned, and then I go back to the first question I answered here, if you're teaching everyone, if you are the Bombril teacher, right? Oh, I teach all the levels. Oh, I teach everyone. I'm so desperate for money, I teach everyone. And then when you want to form the groups, oh, se fudiche, né? So that's why you have to find your niche. You have to think about it. If you are part of BT already, season 1 is essential for that, so that when you grow, you grow more easily. You grow strong, and it's not like, oh, I'm trying to, like find one person here and there and fill in the gaps. That's a different way. That is why I am so I'm so firm about teachers saying, oh, but I like teaching everyone. Gosta nada, vai mentir pra avó de vocês, não mente pra mim, não. We are not good at everything. We have something that we do that is better than the other things. Okay, so when you follow that, and that is why the structure from the Step Up Challenge and BTE, everything is so specific. It's because I want the kinds like questions like that, they come naturally. For you to form a group, it's just like, I have so many students coming, I'm doing so many talks that, it's easy. It's easy to form a group, because if you're attracting enough people and your schedule is already full, then the group is the natural, next step you're going to take. All right, let me know if it makes sense to you guys, the ones who are watching live. Okay, let me know if it makes sense to you. Let me see. And Becca, it seems that everybody has available time only at night. How do you guys deal with it? Then you teach at night, right? But don't ever believe that there's anything in this world that is unanimous. Like, oh, everybody wants to have classes at night. Not true. Not true. Many people want classes early in the morning. Many people want classes at lunchtime. Many people need classes in the middle of the morning, the middle of the afternoon, especially now that many people are working from home. And if your ideal client needs if your clients need more classes at night, then maybe you should think about it, right? It's the same thing for people who teach kids, and then they say, oh, but I'm only going to teach after 8 p.m. How many parents are going to want to have their kids studying English at that time? So you have, and that's why it's important for you to choose and decide what's best for you, right? All of that has to be aligned. But what worries me the most about questions like that is that, oh, it seems that everybody, guys, there's nothing like everybody in the world. If we had anything that everybody did, we wouldn't have wars, we wouldn't have, big debates and so much disagreement. So no, if you teach adults, believe me, there are adults for all the times during the day, right? People that would much rather have classes after lunch because it's the easiest time for them, right? Forget this thing of like, working hours. Nowadays, with the globalization and companies working internationally and working from home, our schedules are much more flexible, right? But if for some reason you're attracting people that want more classes at night, start having groups at night. Okay, then it's good for you. Let me see what else, guys. Send the questions to the question mark here, okay? To the bottom, or here if you are watching from YouTube, send it to the chat, because sometimes you send it in the comments and then people say, and then I'll get lost. All right. How much should I start charging for the online VIP classes? Eduardo, were you there for the Step Up Challenge? Because we talked about it so much just like a few days ago on day 2. And the thing is, there's no price that is good for everyone. You have to come up with your price, right? And it's okay for you to ask teachers how much they're charging, but the problem of asking teachers how much they're charging and doing the same is that you're going to have to work just as hard, to get students that pay 30 reais an hour and students that pay 150. That you better work for the number you need. You better find students that will pay, that will be there for that time and pay as much as you need from the calculation you prepared in the end of the month, right? So there's no number, and I really don't like it when teachers get it from others. But people in my city are charging this. Amor da vida, you're teaching online. What difference does it make if people in Curitiba are charging this? And how many people live in Curitiba? How can I compare myself with anyone? I don't know what kind of background they have. I don't know the experience they have. Also, how much are you charging? You're a different teacher. I don't know the niche you have. I don't know the kind of problem you solve, and the more specific you are, the more expensive you are. It's the same thing as when you go to, I don't know, a specialist. You can go to a general physician, like a doctor, and they're going to pay, they're going to charge one price. But if you need something super specific for that problem you have, then, you're going to pay more. So I don't know the kind of teacher you are to say how much, right? It's your number. You should find it, right? My followers are not interested from my accounts. Well, it doesn't matter about your followers. It's the kind of students you want to have, right? And depending on the kind of price you're going to charge, your image, your Instagram, and everything else has to keep up with that. You cannot be a teacher who charges 100, 200 an hour, 300 an hour, and then your image and what you deliver and the quality of what you show doesn't, keep up with that, doesn't show the same level, right? And that's a perception that we have, that human beings have, the clients have. If it's more expensive, it's better. If it looks expensive, it's probably better. So you have to be careful with that as well. All right. Instagram doesn't deliver my post wider, then you have to maybe learn better about how to sponsor your posts, how to change the posts you make, so then you attract the right people. All right. What's the best time to open a mail? When opening the first group or when starting my own business? When you start your own business, right? So that you can start, you can offer, receipts to your students. You can have all the legal, support that you need. And it's so cheap and so simple to do it, guys. Really do it. And the effect it has on your mind to see yourself as a business person. I know that many many teachers, they send me a message saying, wow, Camila, now I really feel like I'm a business person because I open a MAE and I open a bank account just for my business. It helps your mind to see that you're not doing just an extra. It's not just a bico, it is really a job. You own a company. You are an entrepreneur. So I would always say do it from the beginning. It doesn't have to be from day one, but let's say after you get your the first student that needs a receipt. And it's so nice when a student says, but can you give me a receipt? You're like, sure. Right? And it's not like, não trabalho, and then it looks less professional, right? And it's something so easy to do. Just go online. Como abrir MEI, guys, you do it online. It's super, super simple. Okay, so just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. What else, guys? What else? I saw that you're sending many things here in the comments. Please send them here to the question mark, right? To the bubble speech. Let me just take a look because there are more there. Scheduling another talk. That's it. That's great. Some people come to me to check private classes, but I think it's too expensive, and I say I can offer lower prices for small groups. But the problem is that I don't have enough students for groups. Okay, so Swelling, because of the other sentences, the other questions and comments you shared here, you're probably attracting the wrong people, right? You're probably attracting the wrong people. So for you to start groups for these guys, just decide when it's going to be. And if you're talking to people and all of them say they don't have enough money, ask them how much they can afford it and form a group with them. Start the group with these people that you're attracting. You know what I mean? All right. Katya. Hello, Katya. Do I need to have my own material or do I need to have my own? Katya, that's a very good question. The thing is, you don't have to. You don't need to, right? You can start working with a book. You can start following other people's material. It's okay for you to start. It's not a problem. There are many good books in the market, right? But Katya, you have to be able to analyze which book is good and which book is not good for you, for your students, for the kind of niche that you have. All right, because many times, and let me share something here since Katya shared this question, and I think it's a very good question. I am always watching like these open groups on Facebook from groups on Facebook from English teachers, right? By the way, we have a new thing here for BT, right? Our community on Facebook, which is not open, which is closed just for us, to avoid situations like the ones I'm going to describe now. You are there in a group of, I don't know, 26,000 people. And then you send a question, can anyone recommend a book for teenagers? You don't know anyone there. You have no idea who these people are. You don't know their reputation. You don't know their experience. You don't know anything. Why in the world, pelo amor de Deus, filhote de ganso, would you trust a person that you don't know to tell you, this book is good? And why can't you, English teacher, find a book and analyze this book and say, ooh, this book looks good. Oh, that's a very interesting book here. Maybe I'm going to start using this one with this group I have or with this student I have. That is the part that really, gives me like the goosebumps every time I see a question like that. I'm like, how come an English teacher can't find a book and analyze a book and see if that book is good or not? And why on earth would you trust a person you don't know, a professional you don't know, to say, oh, this book is good? Does this person have students? Are their students happy? Do they promote results? Why do you suddenly trust? So that is my point, Katya. That is my main point here. Teachers can use books. It's no problem. There are good books in the market, but know that books will never be as good as the things that you create and adapt for your students. Just because books don't know your student, right? They're not close to your students. So it's okay for you to start using books. I'll always tell teachers to adapt and include things. Do not use the book only. And that is something that you learn when you take Pro, our teacher training course, right? Okay, I want to start with the book. I'm still not confident. I'm taking Pro because I want to learn how to create my own things. But that cannot be a reason why you don't start, right? Because you don't know how to create your own material. But you have to see how to make that activity that you have in the book customized for your students, right? It is part of our job to choose material, and it takes responsibility to do that. Exactly, Gabi, right? And for me, right, from my perspective here, a teacher that doesn't know where to find books and how to analyze books is like, okay, so start by using the book. It's no problem. But as you use the book, start building your own portfolio. Start building your own things. And don't ever believe that a book and just a book is going to be good enough for your students. Your classes, if you're teaching one-on-one classes, there's no excuse. Your classes have to be personalized. If you're teaching groups, your classes have to be personalized to the groups you're teaching. And if you have a niche, if you work with that group of students, if you have the ideal client, your classes and your material have to be designed for that group of students. If you don't do that, don't be surprised if your students don't stay, if they cancel classes, if they never give you testimonials of the results they have because they don't have any results, right? And then suddenly you have students that simply don't learn. Don't be surprised. Okay, so we do have to learn how to do that. And let me tell you something, it doesn't take a lot of time. When you learn how to do these things, then you make these things work quickly. All right? So a very long answer for a very important question, right? I'm asking because I did a mentoring that a person obligated us to just use their own material. Katja, you don't have to do anything in your life, right? You're not obliged to do anything in your life. You know that real, não sou obrigada a nada, não sou obrigada a nada, não sou obrigada a nada. Right? The only thing you have to do in life, and it's not an option, is to die one day. I hope it's very far from today. But all the rest is up to you. I really think that if you're not going to start using your own thing and you don't know how to do that, use a book, but add, personalized things to your students. Okay? Yeah. And it's just complementing the question, right, Katja? I think I already answered this one. Let me see. What else? Amanda, hey Camila, when are the new groups for Pro going to open? Amanda, if you are in our groups of WhatsApp and Telegram, you probably received a message about it today. We're going to open this week, right? But just this week. So if you are there, check the message we sent today, okay? If you're not, be sure to be part of our groups, because all our notifications and reminders and news, they go through the groups, and the groups are not open groups, so you don't keep receiving good mornings, every day. It's just for what matters. If you are an English teacher and you want to grow and you want to see all the opportunities that BTE has for you, that I have for you, be in our groups, okay? The Telegram channel or the WhatsApp groups, okay? Sure. Let me see. By me, Gabi. About groups, I always wonder how to get together a group with the same level besides beginners. Gabi, take a look at the beginning of this Q&A today, because I think I answered that in the beginning when somebody was asking about a group. Okay. And basically, it depends on the kind of student you choose to have. And then when you align everything you do, all your posts, your communication, and you have students from that level, then you start to attract people that will fit these groups. Okay, it doesn't have to be just beginners unless you work with beginners. But if you teach advanced levels, if you teach people, for example, you work with English, that's your niche, right? And then your sub niche or something like that is exam preparation. You help students pass the IELTS, get a high score on the IELTS, to get a 7 or something like that. So you're going to post and talk about things that concern these people, meaning the ones who are going to get in touch with you are students that need to have a high score with the IELTS. So you're not going to be sharing English tips of super stupid things. You're going to share things about the IELTS. You have to be seen as the reference for that. Preciso passar no IELTS, preciso fazer a prova do IELTS. Quem que é a referência do assunto? Gabi, if that's the case. Okay, so your communication to your audience is going to be so clear that you're not going to attract people who want classes for kids if you only talk about exam preparation. So if you are that generic teacher, and that's when I say it, that I'm just posting English tips, and then your English tips are super generic, again, don't be surprised that you're going to attract super generic students. And then making the group is even harder. All right, so that is why it's so important to make up your minds and say, I teach these people here. I'm very good at helping these people here. What is my niche here, guys? I help English teachers. That's my niche. Why don't I help nutritionists get more clients? Why don't I help, I don't know, engineers, the architects get more clients? The methodology would basically be the same, right? Because BT is all about marketing and business. That about for English teachers, because this is the kind of audience I have. So everything I say is for English teachers. I have no intention of attracting, people who are not English teachers here on this profile. So we have to align all of that. Okay, so that is something that has to be clear for you. So these questions won't even bother you on that. Okay. Why I never had a teacher like you? Because I'm the only one, Fernando. And that is something, by the way, for this comment, thanks for sharing that. And thanks for the compliment too. That so many teachers, hi Patricia, hi Carol, Charliel, here people on YouTube as well. That's why we don't have to worry about competition. And when I say not worry about competition, doesn't mean that you're not going to be looking and just like, what's going on, but you're unique. The way Gabi teaches is different from the way I teach. The way Carol teaches is different from the way I teach. The things Patricia likes are different. Back. The things Patricia likes are different from the ones I like. So, I don't have to worry, because the students that are going to like Milka are different from the students that are going to like me or choose me. The students that Mari's going to get are different from the ones that I'm going to get. So that's all right. But I have to know myself well, not to worry about it. All right? And always improve, always improve. We call our tribe the best teachers ever because we don't teach just English. We're not just professorzinho de inglês. We don't teach aulinhas, professorzinho, teacherzinho, cursinho. We're not that kind of people. We're teachers who value themselves, who know the difference we make in people's lives. That is what our tribe believes in. All right. So when you see yourself that way, when you have that clear in your mind, then you don't have to worry. Then you really don't have to worry, right? It doesn't mean you're not going to take all the actions, to be seen and everything else, but you really have to know your talents and know what you can do differently. All right. Let me take a look here at some comments because I want to see what you're talking about. But if you have more questions, time to do it now, okay? We're about to finish here. Just see. Do you recommend a course to improve our English as teachers? Yes, Mara, we have a course called Upgrade, English for English Teachers. Right? Mara Belli Veras, do you recommend a course to improve our English as teachers? Yes, we have a course for that called Upgrade, English for English Teachers. If you click the link that is in my bio, you're going to see all the courses we offer. My performance with new experience, and I always want to improve my performance with new experiences, and I love teaching English. That's it, Patricia, you're absolutely right. You know, if you are that kind of teacher that is only doing like the same things you did over and over, like over years ago, don't be surprised if people don't, you know, want to be there with you. All right, let me see more questions. Do you think online class for kids is the best way? Bruna, the best way is the best way that is good for you. Okay? There's no best way, guys, for when you think about the niche, right? When you think about the kind of client you want to have. If you like teaching kids, if you're good at teaching kids, if you know about kids and how they learn, how they develop, then it's the best thing for you. If you don't like kids, but you see Maíra, one of the mentors that we have at BTE, making a lot of money, right? Being super successful, full schedule, full groups, developing her online course, and you're like, nossa, Maíra tá ganhando dinheiro pra caramba, vou fazer igual ela. But you have no talent and no interest in kids, and you don't have a true passion for that, then it's the dumbest way. You know what I mean? So I see teachers sometimes thinking, oh, I want to be like Camila. I want to be a teacher mentor. After I started BT, you have no idea how many other profiles of teacher mentors were created. Fine, right? Some really love it. Some really do it. But most are just like, oh, okay, I saw that this person here is being successful. Let me try and do the same. They have no story about it, no experience, no nothing. You just see that it's like, you know, like a pile of things together with generic things for teachers. Like, so is it the best way for you? If it's something that you really love, if all like everything that in your life guides you to that, that is the best way. That's why there's no best way for everyone. There's your best way. The best way for me is to work with English teachers. But for you, I don't know. Right? And Andrea and Fernanda, talking about it, girls, and it's it. And if you have students that come to you and say, eu preciso fazer umas aulinhas de inglês, you know, when you talk to people, maybe on the elevator, and then they say, eu preciso fazer umas aulinhas, cara, já, ó. Because if they think English is aulinhas, you can expect, you know, you can guess how they're going to behave, right? And you're, or maybe be brave enough to try and change that person's mindset. I like to insert new activities in classes because it attracts the students' interest. That's true. That's true. Patricia is sharing here, and that's absolutely true. That's the way it is. All right. There are some other questions, but they're repeated here, guys. I'm trying to find the ones that are not repeated. Okay, let me see. A new one that just... Mesmo sem ter alunos, eu devo preparar aulas para depois adaptá-las aos alunos? Devo adiantar isso? Gil, você pode preparar aula sim, tá? Mas se você já tem experiência como professora, se você já deu aula antes, você tem uma ideia, né, de como as aulas funcionam, e se você tem intenção de no futuro fazer um curso online, vender aula gravada, essas coisas, sim. Ok? Mas se você nunca deu aula, ou se você deu muito poucas aulas, eu sugiro que você se aprimore como professora, tá? Faz o Pro, entra no nosso curso Pro, que é o Teacher Training Course, para quem não tem experiência, ou para quem nunca fez treinamento, sabe, para ser professor, ou quem fez há muito tempo atrás, mas não está satisfeito com as aulas, não sabe criar seu próprio material, não sabe, demora muito tempo para preparar a aula, não sabe avaliar as coisas, não tem, sabe, vive inseguro pela preparação da aula e criação de material. O Pro é para vocês. Tá? Nada é uma coisa depois da outra. Tudo a gente pode fazer junto. Então, a Gil, que está aqui, ó, Best Teacher Gil, Se você já deu aula, se você já é professor e só agora você não está com alunos, manda ver. Perde tempo não, tá? Até, Gil, eu não lembro se foi você que entrou na BT ou não, que entrou uma Gil sexta-feira, se não me engano. Mas aí sim, não perde tempo, tá? Vai gravando, vai montando, vai fazendo teu portfólio já, né? Pega uns alunos aí para, sabe, precisa de alguém, começa a se jogar nas estratégias de atrair aluno. So it depends. It depends what kind of experience you already have. It depends where you're coming from. But I'll always tell you not to waste time, right? I'll always tell you agiliza. Okay? The only problem is if you've never taught or if you taught very little. All right? Mansur, for the ones who didn't join BTE, you have to be in the groups on Telegram and WhatsApp. We're going to offer that this week, okay? For the ones who already joined BTE, fica lá no nosso grupo, porque a oferta vai ser diferente, tá? Quem entrou para BTE tem bônus, tem desconto, tem cupom, é diferente, não compra fora. Quem não entrou para BTE, a gente vai fazer uma... Ah, você tá no Pro? Ah, então a gente vai se ver hoje, Gil, que bom. Hoje tem Teachers Lounge, né? Quem não entrou na BTE, você tá... Então, Mansur, espera lá dentro do grupo, tá? Pro a gente vai falar dentro do grupo. Tem uma condição especial para quem entrou na BTE. Quem não entrou na BTE, fica nos nossos grupos abertos do Telegram e do WhatsApp para não perder a oportunidade, tá? Cristiana, hi Cris, super recomendo o Pro, tem me ajudado demais a preparar minhas classes, a me sentir mais segura quanto ao meu conhecimento e aulas, só gratidão por esse curso e todos os outros. Que massa, Cris. E a Cris, posso falar, Cris? A Cris descobriu mais uma rede social para anunciar, né, Cris? Alright, mas quem entrou para essa última turma da BTE, gente, vocês têm que estar no grupo do Telegram. Quem não entrou, e não é grupo aberto, tá? Tem o grupo da turma 7. Quando você entrou na BTE, recebeu seu e-mail de confirmação, entra lá, você vai ter acesso a todo o conteúdo. Lá na introdução, tem lá, 2 things you need to do. Tem lá o link do grupo do Telegram da turma 7. Você tem que estar lá dentro, não é opcional, tá? Aliás, tudo é opcional na vida, mas é uma opção burra, ok? Quem não entrou para a BTE, fica nos nossos grupos do WhatsApp e do Telegram, os canais que a gente tem abertos. Ok? Para quê? Para toda vez que a gente inventa moda, e eu invento moda pra caramba, tem Pro hoje, tem, Fê, 2 horas da tarde, o nosso Teachers Lounge. Né? Tá o Pro no Show Up. Gil, beleza, então eu vou te ver hoje também. Né? A Paty está dentro, ela vai receber já. Turma 7, Paty e Mansur que estão aí na turma 7. Essa semana a gente vai mandar todos os links, tudo certinho para todo mundo. Eu estou olhando agora quem foram os primeiros inscritos que vão ganhar a sessão, que vão ganhar um monte de coisa. Respira, vai sair tudo certinho essa semana. Tá? A única coisa que vocês não podem fazer, quando você entra na BTE, sempre vê as informações por dentro da turma que você tá. Tá? E se não estiver lá, pergunta para mim. Se você não entrou ainda na BT, porque eu sei que você vai entrar, aí você fica nos outros grupos que a gente tem, que vocês estão vendo que são grupos que não tem como você falar, né? São grupos que only administrators can share messages. São os nossos canais, e é por ali, nos e-mails, abre os e-mails, a gente sempre manda as coisas nos e-mails, tá? Porque a gente fica inventando moda o tempo inteiro, a gente adora criar coisa, e puxar os teachers para o lado forte da força aqui, lado bom da força, lado rico da força. Ok? You'll be teaching, but you watch it later. Ok, we're gonna record it. Ok? Já pegamos as perguntas de todo mundo, já estamos prontinhas para receber todos os teachers hoje no Teachers Lounge do Pro. Ok? Gente, olha só, recadinhos finais aqui para quem tá seguindo a gente. Da BTE, teve 2 ou 3 boletos. A gente fechou a inscrição semana passada para a turma nova da BTE, que é a mentoria para fazer teu negócio crescer e ganhar dinheiro como professor. Beleza? Fechamos as inscrições sexta-feira. Hoje a gente foi olhar tudo para ver a inscrição de todo mundo, pagamento de todo mundo, e sobraram 2 ou 3 boletos, agora eu não vou lembrar exatamente o número, mas que seja 3, tá? Que não foram pagos. Ou seja, a gente tem 3 vagas abertas para essa turma da BTE que está começando agora, que a primeira sessão de mentoria é amanhã, tá? Então, se você não entrou ainda e quer entrar, ou se você entrou, mas você tem um teacher amigo lá que queria entrar, mas perdeu a data, manda o meu perfil, manda o e-mail, encaminha, dá um jeito da pessoa chegar para a gente hoje, tá? Hoje vai ser o dia que a gente vai fechar esse assunto. Se você não entrou para a BT, não vai entrar agora, também já decidiu aí que não vai ser agora, a gente vai apresentar uma oferta para você entrar no Pro, que é o nosso treinamento de professores, Teacher Training Course, que é outra coisa diferente da BT, não é de negócio, é para você preparar a aula, criar seu material, ter segurança com isso, blá, blá, tá? Isso a gente vai oferecer nessa semana, somente nessa semana, com um valor diferenciado. Clica no link que tem na minha bio, na minha página, com todos os cursos, tudo que a gente oferece para os teachers, tá? Então, entra por lá, dá uma olhadinha, entra nos grupos, fica de olho para não bobear, tá? O que mais me dá desespero é assim, semana que vem, por exemplo, vai ter teacher assim, mas eu queria ter entrado nessa turma, daí já foi, né? E aquilo que eu falei no começo hoje, não deixa para depois o que você já decidiu que é importante para você hoje, tá? Para BTI, para profissão, para a vida, para tudo. Se você entende que o que é importante para vocês tem que ser feito hoje, faz hoje. Porque é isso que vai te dar a ferramenta, vai te dar a habilidade, vai te dar a possibilidade de você conseguir o que você quer, para você atingir seus objetivos. Exatamente, Gil. Se você fica, eu vou mês que vem, eu vou quando eu estiver pronto. Gente, não tem dessa de estiver pronto. Todo mundo já está pronto. Nossas mães já pariram a gente, sabe? A gente já desmamou. Passou dessa fase, a gente está pronto. Não tem dessa de melhor momento, não tem melhor momento. O melhor momento é agora. Porque agora é tudo que a gente tem. Então, ó, decide, agiliza. Sabe que essa é a minha frase principal. Para quem está no Pro já, eu vou ver todo mundo daqui a pouquinho. Quem está na BT, entrou na turma 7, amanhã a gente tem sessão. Se você tá perdidaço, manda mensagem para mim, manda mensagem para o nosso suporte, para não perder nada disso que já está acontecendo. Ok? Quem sabe eu entro para a BT hoje. Ó, Gil, corre lá, manda mensagem para o suporte que eles te ajudam com esse desencontro de informação que você teve aí antes, tá bom? Teachers, have a wonderful day. Let's make this a beautiful week. Let's have lunch, and I'll see you all later. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, teachers.